Hi, my name is Jay.
And I'm Sarah.
And this is our channel, Finance and Freedom. So today we're going to be discussing how we actually got into $110,000 worth of debt.
Yeah. So we actually didn't realize it, but when we looked back, we went from being completely debt-free with a paid-off car to being $110,000 worth of debt plus a mortgage on top of that $110,000. So basically just combing back, what do they say? Hindsight is 20/20.
Yeah.
So just combing back over some of the little
our
things,
financial decisions.
Yeah, that we realized were not the greatest. So how it all really started was we totaled our paid off car.
Yes, and so when we totaled our paid off car, we got a check for the car, and we went and bought a new car that was worth way more, which we should have not done. Looking back, like I said, hindsight 20/20. But we did go purchase this new car that was worth $20,000 more than the car that we totaled was worth.
At least, and nothing crazy. In our minds, it wasn't crazy because we were still buying a used car.
Yeah.
It was at least 2 years old. We had like requirements that we were meeting that we thought we were being smart financially when we were making the decisions. And looking back, I'm like, there was no need for us to upgrade that much in car.
No.
But it felt completely normal, like it was just something that had to be done. So that was our first little step of, okay, now we have some debt on us. But it was just one thing, so it was.
Yeah, we felt like, we can handle it. We'll take care of it.
Yeah.
We'll eventually pay it off,
Exactly. And then we realized too, we were trying to get a house, our first house, and so we're like, we need to build our credit up. So we went out and got a secured credit card, which looking back was probably a really, really bad decision. I think too that's a real big myth that's been perpetrated, that you have to have a high credit score to get a mortgage.
Right.
And instead, I feel like the goal of us getting a house, what we ended up doing actually, it was like 40 years in the wilderness. It led us all the way around when there could have just been a straight shot to the house, which was our end goal.
So we ended up getting a secured credit card. For those who don't know what a secured credit card is, it's a credit card that helps build your credit up. Okay.
So it's put money down on, and then they give you a little bit of credit limit over the amount that you had to put down onto the card. And then once you basically prove to them that you're keeping up with that monthly payment, then they will continue to increase your limit, and then eventually you start getting all these credit card offers from other people.
Yeah, once your credit goes up. So we began to get all these credit card offers, and it was my first time getting so many offers, and I was like, I'm gonna sign up for this one, I'm gonna sign up for that one, and had all these credit cards coming in, and started to use them.
Exactly. And I think a big point to mention here too is it is such a slow fade. It's not like we got all these credit cards, all at once, and we just went on shopping sprees, we're at the mall every day or anything. It actually started after the secured credit card. I think it was like Amazon card, store card, and a Walmart card. So we're thinking, we shop here anyway, it'll just help build our credit even more, and buying normal everyday little things.
Listen, let me tell you how they get you. It began with these payments. If you sign up with our credit card, we give you $50 or $60 a month in payments, and we're like, we can afford that, $50 or $60 a month.
One thing is that we were not, communicating well about our finances, but I think each of us individually, would buy something, or like he said, even if it's not on a credit card, there are different websites that get you in that same way, clothing websites, furniture websites, where you can go online and you'll be like, I'm going to make this big purchase. It may be, big purchase, it may be $100, $200, something like that. But then you see at the bottom, click here and you can only pay $10 a month. So both of us, without communicating with each other, are buying these little purchases of $10, $20, $50, and everything's just piling up and we didn't even realize it. It kind of reminds me of the frog in the water. When you boil a frog, you don't. You don't.
What frogs we boil? We boil.
Oh my God.
We don't boil frogs.
So when you boil a frog, you don't just throw it in a pot of boiling water. It's gonna hop out. You know, you slowly turn up that heat, and that's what we were doing to ourselves without even realizing it with the debt. Is we were like, you know, every $10 payment, we were just like slowly cooking ourselves.
I hate that analogy, but what she said. What she said, but yeah, like the credit card debt came along, the new car payment came along, then we got second car.
Yes, so then when we did, so our credit got good enough, and we went and purchased our first home. And when we did that, we were moving far out, and we're like, oh, well, now we need another car. So we immediately bought the house, and before, had we closed yet?
No.
So we were worried, you know, we felt like we had to get the car first because we didn't want it to close on the house and then them not approve us for the car. That should have been a heads up that we were in over our heads, but it didn't even like register.
Yeah.
It just felt normal, like this is what we had to do. And again, we were being really reasonable. I mean, the second car that we bought was way less expensive than our other car. And I mean, it was like I think the monthly payment was like $170 around there, $180, $170. So again, we were so focused on those payments. We can handle that.
And we ended up taking the school on an accident.
Yeah.
And like it was literally like a mistake that we actually took that school loan. So we had salary mail not back now that we had to eventually get rid of as well.
Because we decided to keep it once it hit our bank account. We literally didn't even know it was coming. So when we first got the money, we're like, what is this? Oh my gosh, oh my gosh. And then we talked about it and we're kind of like, oh yeah, we'll pay it back later when we graduate and we're making better money. That'll be easier.
Yeah.
It's not easier.
No, it's not. But you know.
Whenever we moved into our first home, we filled it with a bunch of furniture.
We got a house renovation, a makeover, and our new home before we even moved here. So we was warned not to do it, but just being super excited by our first home together.
You can take things that were meant to be blessings and they can be turned into a curse. And I really feel like that without knowing it, that's what our house turned out to be, because we ended up swimming in debt and we couldn't even enjoy our house.
Yeah, because we was always working, gone from the home.
Yeah, we weren't even ever home because we were working so hard to pay for it and everything in it.
So not only did we do a renovation on our home, we took out another loan, a big loan. It was really, really bad.
It actually wasn't that big. It was just really bad, actually.
It was a bad loan.
But we didn't even know how bad it was until we actually paid it off. We had always planned to pay it off really quick. Like we had said, we were always overdraft. So if something came up where we had to have funds in by a certain date. So we had gotten this little small loan and we're like, okay, we're gonna pay this off like in a week.
Bad. It was accruing interest, big interest every day. Not your normal interest where some people pay 5 or 7 or even 3% on the loan. I mean, this loan was so bad that when we paid it off,
we only had it for 2 weeks.
Yeah, we had it for 2 weeks, and when we paid it off, we was already at.
We was over the amount that we borrowed, and we had already made the first payment on it, which was, it's like probably 25% of the loan was the first payment, and then when we called a week later to pay it completely off, they're like, you owe more than you took out, and I was like, how is this possible? We just paid like 25% of it a week ago, so it was horrendous. Like, run. If you get those things in the mail, which we did it as a last resort, and we knew it was going to be bad. Yeah. But we had no idea it was going to be that bad. Yeah. If we wouldn't have paid off our debt when we did, that loan probably would have took us under.
Oh, for sure.
It would have took us under.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. So watch out. No loans, no credit cards. Don't do it. You don't need them. It's not worth it.
That's one. So Dave Ramsey always mentioned how your financial decisions are mostly habits.
Yeah, and only a little bit of it is actual knowledge. And looking back now, I can see how we were actually building poor financial habits without even realizing it. And And we never really talked about finances because that wasn't something that was, prevalent in either of our families, like letting us, having open discussions about finance and things like that.
Having a budget meeting, a money meeting, whatever you want to call it, to help you stay on track in your family. That was foreign in our home, so.
Exactly. So I feel like we felt like because we didn't have any financial knowledge, that what we were doing was okay. And not realizing that we really didn't need all this fancy knowledge to do better in our finances. We literally just needed to change our habits. And the way to change your habits is through your mindset. So stay tuned for our next video where we're going to dive into mindset changes and some tips to help you start thinking like someone who's going to build wealth and not someone who's swimming in debt.
Yes. So we would love for you guys to comment below to tell us what was your worst financial decision. And so until next time.
3, 2, 1, go.
Pause.
I'm not gonna talk too much. I'm just going. Energize everybody.
3, 2, 1, banana.
Oh man! All right, so we had guys. Wow.
Hi, I'm Sarah,
And I'm Jay.
and this is
Our channel.
Finance and Freedom.
Let me do it.
You do it.
What
Next
ain't
pause.
secure?
3, 2, 1. Let's say it together. Finance and Freedom.
We ain't gonna say it like that. We ain't gonna say it.
Finance and Freedom.
Secure credit card. I can't say that word for some reason. So those who don't know where it's a credit. Oh my god.
So I just felt so normal. Oh, we forgot about our student loans.
Okay, we can add that in there. I got the lyric cut off.
Not
We're
this
about to piece
part.
this video together.
It's gonna be horrible to piece it together. I know. I'm like, why?
And my wife, she just. I'm not gonna say my wife. I'm not gonna point the
You
finger.
can point the finger.
No. I'm not gonna point the finger.
I'm putting that in the video.
My wife?
All this.
No, you're not.
Yes, I am. Watch. I'll put that in there too. I ain't scared. He wants me to cut everything out of this video. Who's gonna cut it? We?
You are pretty girl. We'll cut it.
No.
No more cuts.